there's a connection between violence and video games. People who are exposed to violence are more likely to participate in it. We have this week a connection between Nazir and Saita, and they seem to be unrelated. The woman who is unfaithful to her husband and the person who takes a vow of abstinence from wine. Rashi, the Chazal, Gemara famously explain, if someone sees a Saita in her disgrace, will take a vow to abstain from wine, from alcohol, which could lead to infidelity, that kind of adultery. The question is, well, actually, a person who was Raya Saita B'Kakula is the person who should not need to make a vow to keep himself safe. He's going to stay safe. He's going to stay far away from that. He witnessed the horrific death of the Saita. He's the last person who needs to take a vow to make an extra guard and extra protection for himself. And the answer I once heard in the name of the Brisker Rav is that it's true he saw the Saita B'Kakula, but he saw a Saita. He saw a woman who committed an affair, and so now that is a part of his vocabulary, is a part of his lexicon. It is now something that he can consider. And so he is more susceptible because he saw it. And so he needs to take a vow. We live in a time when technology is embedded in our lives, how we communicate, how we work, how we play. And technology can do a lot of great things, but it can also bring us to exposure, to expose ourselves, to Gilei Arayis, Shvichas Damim, to all of the worst things. And so we need to think like the Nazir. What can we do to avoid, to protect ourselves, to be careful? And the Nazir doesn't turn into a kid, run and live the rest of his life in a cave, but he takes a concrete step. He says, I'm not going to have wine. And when he takes that, and that's Hashem, I'm showing you, I am taking a concrete step, taking those intentions and putting them into action. And v'hiskadishtem, v'yisem kedoshim. If a person is mekadesh themselves milamata, Hashem gives you the rest of the kedusha milamayla. That's what the Sfas Emes learns. The Nazir, if you look closely at the Psukim, all he accepted on himself is not to take wine, maybe not to cut his hair. And Mimela, as a consequence of that, he becomes niskadish like a Kohen Gadol, and he cannot become tamei to a mace. That's not even something that he accepted. That's something that is a consequence. If you're mekadesh yourself a little bit, I make you like a Kohen Gadol. And that's how it is with us. We take a little concrete step. Then Hashem will help us. Whether that concrete step is a filter on our devices, or it's having someone else with access to your history to see what you're looking at on your devices. To think of practical, concrete steps that we can take to guard ourselves. This is the parsha of Yishalchu ben Amach and Kol Tzura v'Chol Zav v'Chol Tamil Nefesh. After the Jewish people received the Torah, they had to make sure that the three cardinal sins, Tzarua represents Avodah Zarah. Kli Yakar writes because we find Klal Yisrael after the Egel had Tzaras. The Zav, an emission from a man, represents Gilei Arayis. And Tamil Nefesh is someone who's callous, with a dead body, it's close to Shvichas Damim. These three need to be away, and they can all be accessed through technology, so we need to take these concrete steps to protect ourselves, to protect our families. And if we do that, Hashem will bring Kedusha to us, and the Shekhinah will rest in our families and in our communities.